Okay, welcome to the Heroes of Change Leadership and Youth Development Podcast. I am your humble host, James Escafon. Today is actually an amazing day, and we are in here with a very amazing young woman. Young woman.
I am young, so
Yeah, she's a very, very interesting lady. And for the short time I've known her since I came to China, she's just been a whole lot of motivation to me. Like sometimes when we are talking, she's like motivating me on how to stay firm in China. She's just that kind of calm person that she knows. I don't know if I should use the word she knows a lot,
oh,
but
okay.
she knows a lot.
I
Yeah,
try.
and for the first time I sat on her teaching, it was actually amazing, inspirational. Like I really learned that day, and that was one thing that actually coming to her, like for us to have that kind of relationship. And I'm
I'm
grateful to
happy.
God.
Happy.
I'm
I'm
grateful to
happy I
God.
have that impact
Yeah.
by God's grace.
So I hope not to be selfish with that knowledge, and that's why I brought her here to also enlighten you guys on the topic, building a good academic foundation. When you hear that, it actually bring a lot of questions. Like some people focus is just on like making money. I can remember the first time when you were teaching, you said that some guys they just go in the girls' DM. The only topic they bring is money
Oh yeah.
or relationship, like romantic relationship. And that really got my attention. Like that's actually true.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie. I was actually a part of those kind of people.
Oh,
Yeah, like
I think we've all been there.
yeah, sure, sure. So feel free to judge me, but that's just how guys are. Like our mind is always on money or woman business, like girlfriend business, and that shouldn't be the way of life for you as a young person. Your foundation is very key, and having an educator or education foundation or academic foundation is something very important, because if you build a foundation on just money, like as a young person you are too eager to make money.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right foundation, but nonetheless my hands are clean. We are here to learn from the expert. We are here to learn from the expert. So my bad, this is Miss Odinaka Cassandra Ezekiel, a young, passionate young lady from Nigeria, West Africa,
Yeah.
precisely.
Yeah.
And I think we are not like close neighbor, but we are somehow neighbor, like
Yeah,
Nigeria and
kinda.
Liberia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in West Africa together. So I don't know, maybe I left other things. You can just fill in the gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to introduce myself briefly. My name, as you said, is Odinaka Cassandra Ezekiel. But you can just pick any of my names and call me. You can call me Odinaka or Cassandra or Ezekiel. Either of them is fine. So I am currently a master's student, although I'm rounding up my master's degree, and I am a researcher. I working on some research in the lab, and hopefully I'll be done later in this year. And I'm very passionate about education. I'm passionate about academics. I love to see young people also being passionate about that, because I believe it's something that will take us a lot of places. As we know, Africa is not where it's supposed to be. It can be better, but it's not there yet.
Sure.
So I hope that more African youth will get interested with academics and make something out of their lives. One thing I've come to understand about academics is that it's not just about learning, it's also about teaching. I think a lot of African youth, from what I've come to understand, is that we kind of think about academics about learning, like
Yeah.
only about learning.
Yeah.
We do not go as much as wanting to build something out of it and teach people as well. But when our perspective, I believe that when our perspective changes from just sitting under tutorship to a point where we can actually tutor people, our academics will be better, right? That's my own my opinion about academics. So I can just get right into it, right?
Yeah. Like you talk about learning, and then young people having to teach others, right? Like because some people when you talk about teaching, our mind only goes to the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what kind of subject or what kind of course to teach. So like when you talk about teaching, what you really mean?
Okay, so when I talk about teaching, it's actually first of all a mindset. It's not just about classrooms, right?
Okay.
So when I talk about that, I mean you need to learn to a point where you know you can teach somebody, not necessarily in a classroom. So
Oh,
let's say when we talk about learning, academics also is not just about classroom. Hope you know that.
sure,
It's
sure.
not just about classroom.
That's right.
So academics, depending on what your field is in, right? What you are, it's not everything you learn and you get a degree or you get a certificate from, right? But all of these things are knowledge, and I like to classify them under the umbrella of academics, right? So not everybody is going to have the opportunity to go to a proper school, right? But
Yeah,
whatever you're learning, it can still be considered an academics,
sure.
right? So whenever you're found in such a place, say for example, you're learning a skill, right? Even a lot of the world richest people right now, they didn't finish school, right? A lot of them are dropouts, but they are in a place where it's beyond just knowing something. It's also about passing that knowledge to somebody.
Yeah,
You get it? So it's very important that we do not isolate academics to only classroom, or isolate academics or learning to only four walls of a school. We won't get it like this everywhere,
sure.
right? And one thing I've come to also understand about knowing something or learning something is that you need to, as I said, it's a mindset, right? So do not allow that pressure to sink in to the extent where you feel like, oh, if I don't do this and maybe pass this exam, I'm not learning. Or if I don't get this certificate, I don't know anything. Why did some people drop out? Right. So it's not just about the certificate, which is very important, very, very
Yeah,
important. But I want us to change our mindset from just passing exams and getting the certificate to actually knowing something. Like your head should be full, your brain should be full with knowledge. You understand, right? So do not focus on just, okay, I'm going to school to get this and this, and I'm going to get a certificate. Do you know a lot of certificates are rotting under people's beds? They're not in use,
yeah,
right? So at the end of the day, it's what is in your brain that is important,
exactly,
right? So the
exactly,
certificate is supposed to be added. When people meet you, they should meet your knowledge before your certificate.
exactly.
That's how I like to see things when it comes to academics. They should, when you speak, they should be able to tell that, okay, this person has been to school,
Yeah,
right? Before you even tell them, oh, do you know I have a degree? They should be able to tell from your conversations,
yeah,
right? So it's very, very important that we break out of that restrictions that comes with academics. Or you have to have a degree. There are a lot of, okay, in my country we have this grading system, by first class, second class, third class.
yeah,
I don't know about your country, but I think
yes.
it's in a lot of
Same.
West African countries, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
And then you meet some first class graduates, and you're surprised. You'll be shocked when the person speaks and you're like, did you even go to school? Right? Did you even go to school? So, in as much as the certificate is very, very important, the degree is very, very important. What is in your brain? What have you been able to learn, and what have you been able to retain. That's what is more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think I've gotten such experience before. Like back then when I was in high school, I started these things from like way down the line. Like I had this organization and I was running things like like someone who is actually out of high school. So sometimes when people meet me, they will be like, "Are you in college? What college are you in?" They will not
You
ask me
see.
what school or what your level. They will just ask me what college are you in or what university are you in. It can be I don't know. I, nah, I don't think I feel embarrassed with that question.
Oh
Like,
no,
yeah.
you should be proud of
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I feel somehow proud of it. Like people are taking me to be more than a
More
level.
than, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it should be. Like you shouldn't like present your certificate just like you said. Your certificate shouldn't go before you. Rather, your knowledge should go before you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Your
uh,
knowledge, I totally second that.
yeah,
Your knowledge should go before you. And actually, I want to commend what you're doing. It's actually very, very good, and I believe that a lot of youth are watching and they are learning.
yeah. Sure.
Yes, they are learning a lot from you, and I encourage you to keep it up. I encourage you to do.
Thank you so much.
Yes, because, and I feel like what you're doing is actually a prototype of what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's a
That was
prototype.
just what I was about to say. So right now we are teaching
Yes.
because it's not about you getting certificate from what we are teaching, but you are learning.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
learning we are talking about.
Exactly.
So you don't have to go in a classroom and then you take chalk or marker to teach on the board. Just what we are doing right now. You are learning. Another person is learning. Another person is going to learn this and then
Yes.
use it in their daily life.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's how you can teach a person. You don't necessarily have to do it in a classroom.
Yeah. And this draws to what I want to talk about next. Let's also apply our knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
So beyond just learning, beyond just knowing, let's also be able to apply our knowledge. That's one very important thing why we need to develop a good academic foundation, right? So, like you have built this kind of platform, right? Educating youth. All of these tools we have online, like the AI, the things we use now that makes
Yeah,
life
yeah.
easy for us, they were built by somebody,
Sure.
right? So that means people thought about applying what they've learned from wherever they learned it from. And one interesting thing is that a lot of these AI tools we have now running, a lot of the people on the board of this or part of the people that built this thing are not all of them are graduates. Yes. So some of them are, or most of them are, but there are also people that learn this as a skill,
Sure.
right? So that's why when I talk about academics, I'm not only talking about classroom. It's not just about classroom, it's about knowledge. Knowledge is what is important. In my part, there's something we do. Someone would like send their child to maybe like a businessman to go learn trade, right? And then this person would be there for like maybe 5 or 6 years or 7 years, right,
Wow.
learning trade. And after they're done, the instead of a certificate that we get from school, they would get an established business.
Wow.
Right. So that's also learning,
Yeah.
right? And your certificate is just a paper, but that person is making millions already, right?
Yeah.
And we spend the same time in school. We spend 4 years undergraduate, 3 years masters, or depending on what country you're doing your masters, you might end up spending same amount of years, but you come out with a certificate. They come out with what they call a certificate, which is whatever it is, like an established business or something, or money or whatever
Something
the
fit for society.
right. So we all come out with something. So what do you do with yours? I think that's very, very important. So they go on doing their business. Your certificate, what do you do with it? Is it just a paper? Is it just something you tell people that, oh, I went to school, and you always have to tell people, do you
Yeah,
always have
you
to tell
always.
people
Yeah.
that you went to school?
Wow.
I think that's the sad reality. A lot of Africans have like a lot of African countries have so many graduates. We
Exactly.
can't even keep up anymore. And
Exactly.
they sometimes they have to tell you they've been to school. the way they act, the way they think, the way they do things, you would doubt if they've been to school because they don't act like they've been to school. So they always have to show you, oh, do you know I've been to school before? Oh, do you know I'm a graduate?
Like I think I can remember back in my country, I was on this bike, this motorbike, this commercial bike.
Oh yeah,
I think
we
you guys
have
call it
that too.
Okada.
Yes, we call it Okada.
Yeah, I was on it, and then the guy who was riding me, he was like, "I graduated from so 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 university. I have this degree," and I was like, "What? What are you doing here?
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
are you doing here? Like
yeah.
these things are not reflecting on you."
That's true. It's sad that Africa is also a place where a lot of dreams go to die.
Yeah,
It's sad. But I believe that we, the youth, are actually the ones that will change it. We have relied so much on the government, and I think it's time we stop relying on them.
yes.
We try to step out or step up, as the
Yeah,
case may be.
exactly.
Uh, I think there's a lot we can do if we agree to come together. It's just that there's so much rot in the African amongst African youths that trust is not there. Because I believe if we're able to trust each other, if we're able to build trust, and that's another advantage of actually going to school. I think that's where we get the advantage because you can meet a lot of educated people that are not interested in maybe those illegal
Yeah, yeah.
way of life and things like that. Unlike when you're not in school.
You made legal friends, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's one advantage of going to school. But a lot of us just pass through school and we don't make friends. We don't keep contacts. We do not network.
No
as the case.
association.
Yes, no association. We do not relate. We personally we can't even, I don't know, maybe because we, okay, I don't think I should say this, but anyway, I think we can do better as youth. We need to, our mindset needs to change. Our attitude towards things need to also change. We need to take our academics seriously because you have had the opportunity to go to school. People are outside of school and they're still learning. You that is in school, we need to take it seriously because now we need to prove ourselves more. We actually have to prove ourselves more than those people that are
Yeah.
out there. Because let's take, for example, the system I talked about in my country. These people now they have proofs that they have been in the system for 7, 6, 7, 9 years. They have proofs. They have the money. You
Yeah.
see them, and they are making money
You,
from their business.
you, you can never look at men like Elon Musk and then you say that he's not educated.
Exactly.
The moment you see him, you know that he's
You
educated.
just know he's educated.
Even if he's not.
Even if it's not.
Yeah.
You just know he's educated. But we that are in school, we oftentimes have to prove ourselves more
Yeah.
than those people, right? We need to prove ourselves more. So beyond your certificates, we need to learn how to apply our knowledge, right? So coming back to what I was talking about, building things, we need to come to that point where we can build things that people can use. That's another form of teaching people, right? Not just going into the classroom and getting a whiteboard and pen and writing on the board or anything. We need to be able to apply our mindset to the point where we can build something out of it.
True.
Depending on your field, sometimes I wish I studied things like computer science and what other thing? All this engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah, engineering generally. I feel like those areas are things that there are areas that you can really build something out of, in my opinion anyway. I've met people that make models. They make building models. They make for the engineers, they make like car models and everything, and it's quite interesting. So imagine if maybe you're able to pair up with a couple of other engineers and build something, maybe like a school for maybe children to come learn how to model things like that. I think it's going to go a long way, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's going to go a long way. And then for me, I'm into like the medical field of things, right? I'm a pharmacist by training, and I'm actually working on something. working on something with a couple of my friends. So at the end of the day, it's about building something.
Sure.
Yeah, it's about building something. We shouldn't be in a position where we always have to tell people that we are graduates. Let them see it. Yeah, let them see
Let them
it.
see it.
Yeah, let it be visible beyond just the paper. Because trust me, at the end of the day, your certificate is just a paper.
Exactly.
Yes. At the end of the day, your degree is just a paper,
Exactly.
just a rectangular paper. If you're not able to apply that which you've learned.
I think that's the same system they have in China here. Like a student will go from primary school to middle school, and then after middle school, I'm not sure about this, but I think from middle school or primary school they start learning trade. Like
Yes.
they have their specific field they need to go in, because an uncle of mine is a teacher, and he was like, these students after the classroom they still have other classes to go
Oh
for,
yeah.
and those classes are not like the known classroom classes. Those are trades that they are going to
Yeah,
learn.
they learn a lot of
Yeah,
skills. That's
those
something we
skills
don't
that
have.
will help you. So it's not only about you learning about the pen and paper or what the teacher has to say, but it's about you gaining that skill that can back that paper.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because even if you have that PhD degree, and then what if you go and apply to a company or an institution, and then they are like, your degree is more than what we need.
Oh yeah. And
So
that's usually the case
yeah.
most of the time.
So what will you not do? You already have that degree. What will you not do? You don't have something to back you up.
Yeah.
So you have to build your own self. Sometimes people, like in Africa, I think it's of recent when these content creators things started coming, before people started relying on they building something for themselves. But we usually have that mindset of going to school and then going to get a job.
Yeah.
We don't want to build. We don't
Yeah,
want to improve.
we are not people that build.
Yeah.
I think I won't blame the youth entirely on this. I won't. The environment is actually not conducive to build things. Yeah. In a lot of African countries and West African countries, the environment is not conducive. But there are a lot of things you can build even in an unconducive environment. That's
Sure.
one thing I believe. But I think the African youth is the average African youth is now lazy, would rather finish school and go work in another man's company
Yeah.
than to build ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I would say kind of we've come to that point of laziness that we need to wake up from. We need to get out of, right? We need to get out of
Exactly.
that lazy mindset. But I won't blame us for getting there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not fully blamed.
it's something that we were pushed into. An average African at early 20s, we're still looking for, we're still in our parents' houses actually. Yeah, an average African. Not because we,
And it's not just like we are just still in our parent home, but on border.
yes,
By
unbothered. Yeah,
yeah.
we are unbothered by anything. We are not shaken. We feel like our parents should still take care of
Yeah.
us at that age, which is sad. It's really, really sad. I think I was watching a documentary of Elon Musk, and they were showing like videos of how he started. Um, I think he started in like a small room, I think with his friend or something. I can't really remember. It's been so long I last watched it. And they had leaky roof. This small building had like a small room, had like a leaky roof, and they have to with just one bed.
Wow.
Right. So they had to leave their comfort zone, so to say. They had to leave their comfort zone to try to build something, right? So I think a lot of Africans, we love our comfort. We already make the excuse that the country is hard.
Sure.
We don't want it any harder. So if it's going to be easy in our parents' houses, let's go stay in our parents' houses, which I'm not against actually, which I am absolutely not against. But being in a comfortable place actually works on our mindset. It affects our mindset a lot. It hinders us from thinking
Yeah.
outside of the box.
From growing.
Yeah, it hinders us from growing. So the African or the African youth needs to step out, even when it's not going to be convenient, even when it's not going to be pleasant. But as long as you have a dream, right? If you have a dream, work on it. If you do not have a dream, start dreaming. Right. Yeah. It's important you actually have a
Yeah.
vision. Don't just step out of your comfort zone if you
Nah,
do not have a
it,
vision. It starts with you having a vision, right? It starts with you having a vision. And okay, in all of this, we haven't even talked about academic foundation,
we are flowing.
right?
I love that. I didn't really thought of this topic being so deep.
Oh yeah, I
This is
me
so
me
deep.
neither. I believe it's actually deeper than
Yeah.
we had anticipated.
When you hear the topic like building a good academic foundation, you just see on the survey it's just like something slime, but it's so deep.
It's really deep. I see it as an oak tree. It has a lot of branches.
Yeah.
That's why the foundation needs to be strong, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be strong. What does the foundation entail, right? The foundation entails you being able to stand independently. You being able to stand even when conditions are not pleasant. And there's some plants. Growing up, we used to have a farm, right? And in some part of our farm was a swamp, and other parts were really dry. So there were different crops we would plant in these places. So similar to an academic foundation. It depends on what your dreams are, right? It depends on where you want to go. What do you envision for your life? Or what impact do you envision that you want to make on people's lives? That would determine where should you even build your foundation. When we talk about academic foundation, you need to pick a niche. For example, I'm in the medical field, right? I am not delving into everything. I am not in the medical field, and then I'm going into engineering, and then I'm going into social sciences
Yeah.
and humanities. Pick one drive. Pick one area. When it comes to academics, pick one area. What do you want to learn? Because this is also going to tell you what you're going to be applying, how you're going to apply it, right? So you need to first of all, pick a niche, pick an area. For those of us that haven't started academically yet, we're planning to start learning something, going to school or going to a training institute or something like that. We need to pick an area. Don't be everywhere. Do not be everywhere. That's a distraction on its own, and you won't go far
Yeah.
with such distractions. So you need to pick an area and then look for how I can make this work, right? I know a lot of us in Africa, our I would say our academic drive picks up after high school, just in college, right? We start thinking of, oh, so what are we going to study in college and everything? But it actually starts earlier than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to start earlier than
Sure.
that, because that's why people get to that point where they want to go to college, and this year maybe they apply to MBBS, medicine and surgery, and it doesn't work out. Next year they're applying to something like maybe social sciences, like the
science.
computer sciences. Like they are they're not sure of what they
Yeah.
want, right? They're not sure what they want.
Testing the water.
Yeah, testing the waters, which I wouldn't say is entirely bad, but I feel like it actually gives an inkling into how the person is or their nature, right? We need to pick something and stick to it. I've heard of people that had to try several times before they gained maybe admission into college for one degree. And when they came out, they were among the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were at the top. So I think if we have a drive for one particular thing, it will go a long way. And even if you want to step out of that thing, let it be in the same confines.
Yeah. Like you spoke of niche. I don't know, but I think you should, like, in the beginning, you should actually have a specific thing you're focusing on, and then that niche should expose you to other things.
Yes.
You shouldn't like just be scattered
Oh no.
from the start. I love this topic. That's why the foundation is there.
Yes.
The foundation is a niche. So once that niche is there, you already know your main focus, and you've glued to that main focus. So going forward now, anything that comes is just a tip.
Yes, it's just added.
Yeah, it's just
Just
that.
like an add-on
Yeah,
to what you're
but you already
working on.
know something that you are strong on,
Yeah.
and your main focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the word. I don't know if I got it.
It's actually you actually put it better than I did, right? So you need to pick that. For me in high school, I think when I was rounding up high school, um, I they gave us like a homework to write. Oh, what do you want to become in when you grow up, right? And in my essay, yeah, it was an essay. I wrote I want to become a scientist. That's what I wrote. I want to become a scientist. And when I came back the next day, I don't know. My friend was now saying, "Is scientist a career?" My friend asked me out of the blues. She was like, "Is becoming a scientist a career?" Then my young mind, I started thinking about it. I'm like, maybe it's not. Maybe I have to pick like, a degree.
Yeah,
Like maybe becoming a doctor or
a
becoming
lawyer.
a lawyer.
Yeah,
And yeah, then maybe from there I can then transform into a
exactly.
scientist. I didn't actually know that a scientist is a career. Yeah, it's actually a career.
Yeah.
And yeah, I passed the AC anyway. And but when I came out, because I wasn't exposed to a lot of things, I think in my family I was the first person to go to university. Yeah, so I didn't have a lot of people to advise me on the side. So I went up trying to become a medical doctor. Yeah. And I would say that took some years away from me. It took a couple of years away from me. And I wish I had known what I was supposed to do earlier, right? Known what I was supposed to focus on earlier. So that's why when I talk about picking a niche, I mean it,
Yeah.
because you will lose years,
Yeah.
you will lose time if you are not focused on something, if you do not understand what you want to do, right? So in also building a good academic foundation, we need to meet people that know things. That's it's bringing me to that point now. I wish I had opportunity to meet with people, but I kid you not. Around me, I grew up in a factory, so a lot of people in that factory are people that didn't go to school, are not planning to go to school. It's just about work, make
Work.
money, marry, right? So my immediate like the people around me
Yeah.
were not exposed. So there were no people I could meet and be like, oh, I this is something I want to become a scientist. How can I go about it? I didn't have that around
Different
me.
paths.
Yeah, and we didn't have good internet then. So it's not something you want to go online and search. I didn't have a phone at the time. I didn't have a phone at the time. Unlike now, I think African youths we're now advantaged to an extent. And there's now internet. The internet has grown so much as we have it now. We now
Yeah.
have this AI around in literally any phone that can access the internet. You can use AI.
Yeah.
Right. So you can literally just ask, oh, if I want to be this, what should
How
I
what?
do? Right?
I mean,
What should I? You don't even need an uncle and or an
nah.
auntie to advise you. You can literally get the advice right on your phone, right? So when we talk about tools of building a good academic foundation, I have to include the AI tools.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we need to maximize them. We
Sure.
need to maximize them. Not that we are depending on them entirely, but depending on what you or your situation, try to maximize as much tools as you can,
Sure.
right? So if you have questions, try to use these tools, and also try to ask people. You need to be willing to ask people. There's something my father would always say. He says, if you ask questions, you will never get
Yeah,
missing.
you never lose the way.
Yeah, you will never miss your way
Yeah.
if you always ask questions. So if you have uncles or aunties that are exposed, please do ask them questions. And if you do not, utilize the internet, use
Sure.
it, maximize it. I think this is going to help a lot with all of these confusions we have. Actually, I've met some people that have been doing some things for a lot of years, and it's afterwards, maybe after like 5, 6, 7 years, that they realize that they are on the wrong road. They're on the wrong road. I think I was one of them. I was one of them, doing something, and 4 years later, 5 years later, I'm like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I should retrace my steps. And thank God it didn't take me 10 or 15 years to
Yeah,
realize that.
that's a
Yeah,
lots of
because
time.
you meet older people now and they're full of regrets, full of
Sure.
regret. They didn't maximize their youth. They didn't do a lot of things. Thank God we're still youth, right? We're still in our youthful age. We can make mistakes and correct them, make mistakes. And that's another point I want to add. Let's be lenient on ourselves. Allow yourself to make mistakes. That's what I mean. Yeah. Do not be too hard on yourself. If you make a mistake, learn from it. That's another way to learn, right? If you make a mistake, learn from it. Try
Oh,
to,
sorry.
yeah.
When you say do not be too hard on yourself, what do you really mean? Like,
Okay, do not punish yourself just because you made a mistake. Okay,
oh,
I made a wrong decision. Do not go commit suicide. You're not the
yeah,
you're not the first, you're not the second, you will not be the last person that is going to make a wrong decision.
sure.
Right. So a lot of people have made a lot of wrong decisions, whether academic decisions or relationship decisions, and it ended up being the wrong thing to do at the time. You shouldn't be hard on yourself. You can always pick yourself up. We're still young, right?
I don't think you meant that should be an opportunity for us to keep on making those
Oh
mistakes.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. Mistakes are not for you to make and repeat again. No, no, no. You shouldn't be like that. But when you have made a mistake, be willing to stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get up again.
Get up and
Yeah.
keep going. Keep going. It doesn't assure you that you won't make another mistake.
Sure.
It's not an assurance. You should be careful, but do not be too careful because you can miss out on things. If you're too careful, you can miss out on a lot of opportunities.
We learn from the mistakes.
Yes, we actually learn. Mistakes are actually supposed to teach us.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not supposed to put us down. It's not supposed to keep us from walking. Right. So after you make that mistake, stand up. What did you learn from it? That's what is important. Else you're going to make the mistake again.
Like I don't know if I need to stay. Like when like moving, and then maybe I stump my toes here, and then while I'm going for another person is coming behind me. I know that there's a rock there or there's something that I stump my toes on, so I'm able to tell that person that, oh, there's something here, and then you can
Yes.
pass over. So
Yes.
that's also like teaching somebody.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
also like teaching somebody.
You know, the good book actually says something that we comfort those with the comfort that we have received. Right. So we learn, right? Something has happened to us. You're able to tell the next person, oh, if you get to this juncture, do this and do that.
Yeah.
Don't be like me.
Sure.
Right. If you didn't go through that experience, you wouldn't be able to
You
teach
wouldn't
the
be.
other person. So that's why, in as much as we are careful not to make mistakes, when it does come, do not be too hard on yourself. When you do get to that point where you feel like you've made a mistake, don't go too hard on yourself. Stand up and dust yourself
You
and keep
know,
moving.
like a typical example would be sometimes when you are in public and then you like stump your foot and then you fall down, you'll be like, I don't want to get up. When I get up,
Yeah.
people will
People
see.
will-
Yeah, people it will be
It's
so embarrassing.
embarrassing.
But once you wake up, you still have to go.
Yeah, you still have
And
to
if
go.
you don't wake up, you are wasting time to reach to that place you
And
are
it's
going.
even worse then. It's
Yeah,
even more
yeah.
embarrassing then.
Like everybody will.
Yeah, they will take notice of
Yeah.
you. But when you stand up immediately, yeah, people
Those
forget
are just
about
few
it.
eyes. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
I agree.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't. We're not trying to encourage mistakes. We're not trying to tell people not to be careful. But when it does happen, because you can't actually run away from these
Things
things.
happen.
Things happen. You can't run away from it. Let me use a typical example, like some of our youth that maybe get unwanted pregnancies and youth or what they call it, adolescent pregnancies. Or,
Teenage pregnancy. Yeah.
Teenage pregnancies and all. It has happened. It's not something that should happen. It's not the right thing to happen. But since it has happened, we need to still move on from it.
Sure.
Right? Forgive yourself. Do not go back to it because you'll be losing years and time on that while you're supposed to be building an empire. Right? We have a lot of let's say a lot of things that are stored in us. There are a lot of things that we can give to our society. But when we are blinded by that error or by that mistake, those things do not get the opportunity to come out. Right. So we need to Move on. Be quick to move on from a mistake.
You know, a wise man once said, once you fall and then you don't get up back, which means you are going to keep, like, you're going to keep down.
Yeah, you're going to stay down and you
Yeah,
make other people fall too.
sure.
You actually
Because
make people fall.
I don't know, this topic is so deep.
Yeah,
This topic is so deep.
I haven't even gotten to
We
what I
haven't
wanted to
even
say.
gotten into the main point. Can you imagine? Yeah. Like, okay, so let me just ask the question, like, um as an African, but like an average African, let's say, or typical African, because we really do think that everything we do is just about making the money. And I think for the short time I've lived on this earth, I think I've come to realize that is I know that money is important, but it's not always about just money. Like, you might have zero account or $0 in your account, but the connection you made or the knowledge you have, it can take you from here in Europe.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that a person, just a speaker, like a conference speaker,
Yeah.
can travel around the world without spending a
Without
cent,
that's true.
without spending a cent?
Yeah.
So it's not like mostly about it's not mostly about the money you make or the money you have in your account. So I don't want to talk as the expert yet. I just want to ask that maybe they should get to know the main idea of why do we need academic foundation as young people.
Okay. This is very, very important because academics is going to open doors that you ordinarily wouldn't be able to open, right? So academics is going to take you a lot of places. So now coming back to the classroom academics, right? So we have classroom academics and we have field academics, right? So coming back to the classroom academics, even the field academics, well, now focus on the classroom academics. It's going to take you a lot of places, right? This is why it is important that after building a good foundation, grow your academics. If you need to improve your grades, improve your grades. If you need to learn public speaking, learn it. If you need to deal with some weaknesses like, oh, you're shy, you can't speak before people, you are, how do I put it? You have panic attacks, right?
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off once
No
more.
problem.
You know, like when I was coming up, I was a very shy type. But who imagined that a shy person uh, in grade one will want to be a lawyer, knowing fully well that lawyers are people
You
who speak
have
out.
to speak.
So it will sound somehow very awkward to people that would tell
Yeah.
like, I want to be a lawyer, but I don't speak.
The thing is, we actually do not know what's inside of us until we try to reach them,
Exactly.
right? We need to give ourselves that opportunity. So a lot of people will tell you, focus on your strength, focus on your strength, focus on your strength. You still need to work on your weaknesses.
Sometimes you don't know what your weakness might be.
Yeah, your weakness can actually become your strength.
Yeah.
If you work on it and change it, right? So it's very, very important. We have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. Some people, okay, for me actually, growing up, I also used to be shy. I also used to be, how do I put it? Socially awkward. I still am to a degree, but not
Yeah.
entirely. I had to force myself to break out of it as much as I can. So in as much as we're supposed to focus on our strengths and make it better, or you're able to maybe draw to the extent where you become the best artist in
Yeah.
the world and everything. But if you are a good artist and you lack character, it's going to affect you still. Maybe you lack discipline when it comes to finances. You will be a poor artist. So, in as much as we're supposed to focus on our strengths and make it stronger and everything, you still need to work on your
Work on your
weaknesses,
weakness.
right? So, if you are someone that is unable to speak publicly, you need to learn. You need to put yourself in a position where you can train and learn. And going back to these tools we have on the internet now, you can even, you can actually buy courses
Yeah, yeah,
online.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
courses on public speaking. There's a
Exactly.
course, I don't know how to sing, but I want to buy a course. I plan on buying it. I haven't bought it yet to like train my voice. So it's something we have access to these things now. And I think we shouldn't just get, in Africa, the average African just want to buy data to watch TikTok,
To watch TikTok.
and watch movies,
Yeah.
YouTube, and that's it. But we can actually grow with the internet. So my advice to the youth would be to, as much as we can, to improve on everything about us as much as you can, or improve on those areas you know you're going to need.
Improve.
Let's say someone like you're shy. You used to be shy,
Yeah.
right?
I'm still shy.
You're
Though.
still shy. So you're going to need to stand before people. You
Sure.
need to improve on your public speaking.
Exactly.
Right? You need to improve on that. For me, I'm a researcher. I would work with a lot of techniques. What do I need to do? I need to improve on those techniques. I have some techniques that I'm not good at. Yeah,
Sure.
I can consider them my weaknesses.
Your weakness.
But I wouldn't ignore them and go focus on those ones I'm good at. Oh, I'm improving those ones. What if I get to a point where I need those techniques? That means I need to improve on them, right?
Exactly.
So work on your strengths, make them stronger, but also do not ignore your weaknesses. Try to improve them as well. Teach somebody. I think my greatest tip for learning is learning to a point where you can teach the other person. If you are not able to teach another person, you've not learned enough. That's how I see it. If you have not gotten to a point where, okay, yeah, this is how you should do this is how you should do this, you've not learned enough. Yes. Also, when you learn to that point, you're able to defend yourself easily. Let's say you go for an interview and they ask you, "Oh, so how did you achieve this? How did you get this?" You'll be able to express
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
right? You actually talk as if you're teaching them, and that's what interviewers want.
Sure.
Right? They want to see an educator in you, because maybe you have juniors, staffs, and everything that you need to train depending on your field. In my field, you have to be an educator.
Oh, let's forget about you going for an interview. Even if you are patient or business, that's
Yes.
something very important
It's
also.
very, very important.
So maybe you might say, I don't want to work for another person. But as long you want support, or you want people to support your business, you have to pay that business, or you have to have the interest of those people that will support, like investor interest.
Yes,
Yeah.
you need to be able to talk about your business,
Sure.
right? And how is the best way to talk about your business? Is to be able to talk about it as if the other people do not know what it is about.
Have to control.
Yes, you have to actually control
Yeah.
everything that's there. So it's very, very important, beyond just knowing and having things in our minds and in our heads. Be able to apply and be able to teach. Yes.
So we've talked about applying and like learning in and out of the classroom. So, and those are all related to building your foundation
Yeah.
and why building your why you should build a foundation as a person. It helps you, like it helps you in a lot of good ways, and it helps to build your future and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes you to places.
It takes you to places. Yeah. So next that comes to mind is, how can we build those foundations? Yeah. Like.
Okay. I think I've touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, I
right?
think we are just flowing.
Yeah, I think we've touched on it.
But I just wanted the audience to understand the main point of how can we build that academic foundation.
Okay. So, first of all, you just repeating what I've said earlier. You have to recognize your weaknesses, right?
Okay.
Do you let's say, for me, I'm not a morning person. I don't like waking up early. But in the night, maybe at 3 a.m., my eyes are still open. In front of my laptop, I'm working, I'm doing something. But in the morning, I'm probably the laziest person you know, right? So you need to understand how you work and work like that, right? I've tried to be a morning person. I have tried sincerely. It never seems to work. I think the only thing I can wake up for is maybe if I have an 8 a.m. class. If I have a class at 8 a.m., that's when I wake up. But if I want to work and work efficiently, I have to work in the night. So you have to study yourself and know how your body works
Yeah.
and align. If you do that, you would actually build a lot. And if you can change it, please do, because I have tried, right? And when I realized that I was rather wasting time trying, I just had to,
Sure.
align. And it's now good because I'm in a point where I don't need to wake up early, right? I don't need to always be up early. I'm a master student. I can go to the lab when I want to go to the lab, right? So that's why I try to maximize my night time. I use it very well. I can sleep at 6 a.m. fine. But you see, when I sleep, I still need to sleep my 8 hours. I still need to sleep for 8 hours or
Yeah.
6 hours, as the case may be. So yeah, just know how your body works. One, then secondly, identify your weaknesses. As much as you know your strength, it's easy for us to recognize our strength. I think it's harder for us to recognize our weaknesses. So a lot
Yeah.
of people that are not financially disciplined, it's really hard. If you tell them that, oh, you're not disciplined financially, they would argue with
Yeah.
their lives
Yeah.
that, oh, I'm disciplined. I am disciplined. And they need to recognize that and agree, okay, this is my weakness. Oh, I like women too much. I spend too much money. I go to the club and I spend all of my money. I am not financially wise. You need to recognize that and you need to work on it. You need to discipline yourself. This is how you can actually build something foundationally. And when it comes to academics, right? So let's say you are somebody that is visually prompted. You like to see visual illustration of things.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people like that. Me, I don't care. Once I can find something to write on and you're teaching, I'm good. But some people, they want you to make a diagram of what you're teaching for them to really understand, or make an illustration of what you're teaching for them to really understand. So these are different people, right? Different things. If you think this is how you work best, or this is your weakness, you can simulate that. You can get a pen. People hate to write. I think that's a problem with a lot of people.
Writing and reading.
Yeah, writing and reading. They hate it. But as a student, you need to learn. You don't have to even write. That's why technology has made things easier now. You don't have to write with a pen and a book. I don't like writing with pen and book either. But I can write with my laptop.
Yeah.
We have tablets now. With
Yeah.
a pen, you can draw. If you think visual representation is how you learn best, as you're being taught, you draw, right? You make diagrams of how you're going to remember what you're being taught. You make diagrams of it and store it. And I think this is one thing that the Chinese, thank God we are in this great nation. It's something that they do a lot. You would see them. An average Chinese person has a laptop and a tablet, right? A tablet or an iPad, as the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they would always have the pen in class. They are writing. They are taking notes. Right on the PPT or whatever. They are making extra notes on it. So it's something we need to learn how to do. Learn how to make notes when you're being taught something. Learn how to make notes. This way you are able to remember things.
To go
easily.
back to it.
Yeah, go back to it. So
Yeah.
you have like a record. I think that's something I did a lot as an undergrad. My notes are still with me, actually. My undergrad notes are still with me. And I use them when I want. And I actually lend them out to people. I lend them out to people. People read my notes for exams. I love to make notes. I don't like reading PPTs or textbooks
Yeah.
right before the exam. So I love to make notes and then I read those for the exam. So we as youth, we need to get back to that point. Let's not be lazy academically. Do not be lazy.
I think this is a point where people seem to say that the internet is making people lazy.
Yes.
But I think it just depends on how you use it.
Depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
It depends on how you use it. Same thing as technology. They say, oh, technology is making
Yeah.
people lazy. It depends on how you use
How
it.
you use it.
So these tablets that people are using to make notes, making it easier for them to organize their notes. They don't have to carry big textbooks
Yeah.
everywhere. That's not making it's not
It's easy.
it's making it easier, not
Easy.
making you lazy, but making it easier,
Yeah.
right? Just as we have washing machines. So instead of you spending 5 hours washing your clothes, you just throw it in the washing machine and it makes it easier.
Just like you said, you don't have to make it hard on yourself.
Exactly. If you can have it easier,
You have the option of
make it
making it
easier.
easy.
Exactly. So, and it doesn't restrict us from learning. It actually gives us more time to learn more
Yeah.
things, right? So, how do we build a good foundation? We need to use this. So, identify our weaknesses, right? Work on them and improve our strength and make use of the tools that we have around us. Then another thing, we have to stay motivated. It's very, very important that we stay motivated. Look for whatever you want to use as a motivation and keep it as your motivation. For me, my family is my greatest motivation. Whenever I do what I do, whenever I wake up in the morning and I feel like not going to the lab,
Yeah, you think,
I just
why you
yes.
should?
Why am I in this country? Why
Yeah.
did I come here? Why did God even put me here in the first place? Right? As trailblazers, wherever we are, I think a lot of Africans, we are trailblazers where we find ourselves.
Sure.
Maybe we are outside of the country or we are in the country. We are the first people to do certain things in our circle. You are a trailblazer, right? So regardless of how you got there, or just stay motivated.
Stay motivated.
Stay motivated. Look for something that's your motivation. If money is your motivation, no problem. It's still a motivation.
As long as it helps you to keep pushing.
Yes, as long as it helps you to keep pushing. That's
Yeah.
what a motivation does,
Yeah.
right? So it keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused. So get a motivation. That's just the point. Get a motivation. Make it as legal as possible, please.
Yeah, sure.
Make your motivation legal. It shouldn't be an illegal motivation.
Yeah.
Because we are trying to deal with the rot in the African youth
Exactly.
mindset, right? So we are not trying to add more rot to it. So make your motivation legal and hold on to it. That's how you build a good academic foundation. Even in class, even though you're failing, even if you're failing, get a motivation that keeps you going.
Yeah, keeps you going.
Keeps you going. Because at the end of the day, it's not your grades that's the failure. It's you giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you actually giving up. Because I've seen some people that they are bad in grades, but in application, they are the pros.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people just don't know how to write exams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get questions and I don't know how they think. It just seems as if they are never prepared for an exam. But when it comes to field work,
I think like on that same topic, like someone will fail this exam on the same topic, but when it comes to them presenting it like
they do
orally,
so well. Yeah.
it's so good. Like when
Yeah.
the one who feel that like I think that's somehow like a gift,
Yeah.
but it just depends on it just draws down to how you use it.
Yeah, it depends on how you use
Yeah,
it.
how you use it.
You still need to work on passing exams.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, it's your certificate.
My favorite quote from you today: "Your weakness can become your strength."
Yeah, it can actually become your strength. You can. So imagine you are able to present your work, or you are able to apply your knowledge, and it's just about passing exams. That's so easy. I think, in my opinion, I believe that you even applying it is harder than just passing exams.
Yeah, I think
Because I
so.
can spend a night. In my first degree, I have a degree from back home. In my first degree, I was a very bad student. So I can spend the night before the exam.
Cram.
I think I was among the best crammers. The best crammers. I can spend the night and read about 3 of this size of books one night. My exam is probably 9 a.m. the next morning. And I'll finish it and I'll write and I'll pass. I'll have maybe an A or at least C. That's how good I am when it comes to cramming. That's how proficient I am when it comes to cramming.
Wow.
But anyway, I digress. So I feel like it's easier to pass an exam.
Sure.
You have the greatest strength, which is being able to talk about your work, right? This is easier to learn. Learn it, work on it, pass it, so that when you are talking, right, and we need paperwork, your certificate will also still be there,
sure.
right?
Sure.
Because I think Africa is still at that point. When we get to a point where nobody looks at your certificate anymore, maybe we wouldn't bother
You
anymore.
wouldn't bother.
But Africa is still at that point where we still talk about certificates,
Qualification based on
qualifications,
certificate. Yeah.
yes, qualifications and everything. And your speech or your work is already going ahead of you. Make sure the certificate follows as well, because a lot of us might not have the opportunity to step outside of Africa, right? Leave Africa where certificate is no longer necessary.
Yeah.
You just, once they see that you are eloquent
Yeah,
enough, you
eloquent.
get a lot of opportunities, right? A lot of us will not have the opportunity, we'll still be in Africa. So while we are in Africa, let's make sure that we have all of the necessary tools. So have your certificate. Secondly, you're able to talk about your work. You are able to build your public speaking, right? Build it very well. Deal with any kind of shyness or social anxiety, social awkwardness. Deal with them. All of these things are very, very important. And these are all of the things we need to take into cognizance when we are building our academics.
I think we've nailed this whole topic.
Yeah, I think
We've
talked a
gone
lot
through
about
with
it.
everything. And I really enjoyed the session. I don't know if you guys are learning like the way I'm learning. Like it's just like I've applied to a school right now. I'm really learning. Thank you so much, Miss Ezekiel. Yeah,
Thank
Miss
you.
Cassandra Ezekiel.
Thank you
Okay,
too
so
for
there's
having me.
there's just one thing that I think would be important for the audience to know and myself as well. Like in building an educational or an academic foundation, do you have to prefer like a strong or a weak foundation? Is there something like that exists like having a strong foundation or a weak foundation when it comes to academic?
Yeah, of course, they would definitely be a strong and a weak
So
foundation.
how
And
can we build a strong foundation?
um, still same things. It just depends on how far you go with them, right? How far are you able to work on your weaknesses? Because I think a lot of people, they would maybe identify their weaknesses, but it stops at just identifying the weaknesses, and they start defending their weaknesses, right? So we need to go beyond just identifying it, but actually working on it and
Working
making
on
sure
it.
it becomes a strength.
It becomes
If it hasn't become a strength, you still need to work on it, right? Or else you would have a weak foundation. So the difference is actually how far do you
of
go on dealing with these things.
oh. Yeah, once again, thank you so much for that brilliant teaching. I
Thank you
actually learned a
too.
lot. Like I said, my favorite quote is your weakness can become your strength.
Yeah.
A weakness can become your strength. So thank you so much. This is where we come to the Cassandra.
Thank you too. Thank you for having me.
This is James Escafon of the Heroes of Teen Leadership and Youth Development Podcast. So, in order to sustain, we need financial aid. So, you can run your ad with us. You can send in your business name. You can send in your business name for us to run ads for you and do a promotion for you using our platform. And yeah, so you can run your ads or you can bring your business and your institution or whatever. We can run the ad for you. We can do a promotion for you using our platform. So thank you so much. This is James Escafon, your home host of the Heroes of Teen Leadership and Youth Development Podcast. Thank you. Welcome back to the second segment of this amazing podcast with your homo host. I'm always homo, James Escafon, and I'm in studio with a very amazing young lady, Miss Odinaka Cassandra Ezekiel from Nigeria, West
Yeah.
Africa. And it has been an amazing time with her, and I must admit, I've really learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
too.
this is where we come to the second session where we will be talking on where we reside. We are currently in China, Xinjiang province precisely. Okay, so my question is, what system? Because we always ask this question, like maybe people out there might be thinking on something that they can use to build Africa, like because China is actually a good example. Like for the few time I've learned about the Chinese history, China is a very good example of what Africa should look at in order to be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like when you really listen to their history, when you really learn their history, they have a very good history that I think Africa has similar history, or Africa could be in a similar state, and then with what China has overcome with, Africa can use that same system. So my question is, what system in China you think uh, Africa, maybe Nigeria, but Africa as a whole can use in order to be developed? If you are to pick one system in China.
Okay, I have to say the anti-corruption system, or as you would want to pronounce it, anti-corruption
Yeah,
system, right? I think the Chinese system is really against corruption, right?
exactly.
I think if Africa is able to emulate the way they fight corruption over here, I think it will go a long way. Because the major problem in Africa, and I believe we all agree, it cuts across a lot of African countries, is corruption.
Yeah, sure.
It's not just our government. The corruption is beyond the government.
Beyond the government.
It's into the youth, it's everywhere. It's with the old people, it's with the young people, it concerns everybody. So if we are able to work on the corruption, then we can fix a lot of things in Africa. I think that ties back to the government, but it starts with us.
Yeah,
It starts with us. Let's say, for example, in China generally, or on an average day, if you keep your things anywhere,
oh my
you can
God.
literally leave your books in school.
That's one thing I really love about China.
You can leave your laptops in
Yeah.
school. You can, like this now, we can leave this whole thing here,
The next day.
go home and come back tomorrow,
Oh
and
my
it will
God.
still be here, right? I think they have set up a lot of things that allows it to be this way. This place that we are at, it's outside, but they have cameras literally everywhere,
Yeah.
right? So when I say it starts with us, we can actually do that. We do not need government approval to get cameras,
Sure.
right? We do not need that. So in our immediate environment, we can set these things up, right? Set a good security system.
Your own
that-
surveillance.
Yes, it actually makes people come into that environment and they are unable to be corrupt.
Yeah.
They are unable to steal. They are unable to do a lot of bad things.
And make
because-
others feel safe.
Yes, and make others feel safe. So it makes the bad people feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and makes the good people safe, makes
Sure.
them feel safe. So we as, for example, in my mom's place, I took it upon myself to buy cameras for her, to put it around so that she feels safe. And people that come into the environment that are bad people, set it up in our environment. Or I don't know the laws in so many African countries, but I can speak from my own country, which is Nigeria. You do not need government approval.
You don't need.
You do not need it, especially for your personal space.
Yeah.
Like your house or your factories or your companies, you do not need an approval.
You know, at some point, in my country, our past president, though, he was like, I think doing a public speak, he was like, every citizen should be their own security. You know, and people took that at so many different perspectives, but I think that actually means like you knowing how to control your space.
Yes, yes. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Control your space. Yeah, it's very important. It's very important. So I think if I'm going to take something out of China, that's something I want to emulate. I want to make a conscious decision to make sure my space is safe. Yeah, make a conscious decision. Put whatever needs to be put in place to make sure it is safe. If you need a guard dog, get it. Right. If you need a gate man or a security man, as the case may be, get it. Just do anything to make it safe.
Yeah.
Right? This is also going to deal with corruption because nobody can come into your space and be corrupt.
Sure.
Right. So imagine if we have 1,000 spaces like that in Africa. That means the space, once we are able to do that, corruption is going to go down.
Yeah.
There's no nation that doesn't have corruption, if you're going to be truthful. Corruption is everywhere. but the degree at
The
which it is
degree.
done
Yeah.
is what causes the harm. So if it's free and everybody can go around being corrupt and steal or do bad things, that means there will be more harm that's been caused. But if we're able to reduce it as much as we can, let's also work on that. So yeah, that's something I'll take away from China.
Anti-corruption. Thank you so much. So if you're a young leader coming up, or if you are currently a leader in Africa, let's try to eliminate corruption.
Yeah.
Speaking of yourself personally, maybe you don't see it necessary for you to go in the government spaces or the political spaces. You should also know how to keep away corruption, starting with you, starting with your community. Let's all try to keep corruption, because when people hear about corruption, our mind straight they go on the government.
Yes. It's the government that comes to
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. So that
The average African is actually corrupt. Yeah, whether you're before you get into the government seats, an average African has a corrupt mindset. So we need to deal with that because it's actually us that are the youth today that will be the leaders tomorrow, right? So if we do not deal with it in our mindset, we'll go there and be like the people we
yeah.
are talking against, we're
Sure.
speaking against right now. So it's just a circle.
Odinaka, Cassandra, Ezekiel. I didn't really know all of these names. It was just the few.
You can actually just call me Odinaka or Cassandra or Miss Ezekiel. Anyone
it
is
was
fine.
the Cassandra. I was actually,
Yeah, Cassandra or Cass. Anyone
Cass,
that's
yeah.
easy. Yeah.
You have a very beautiful name, though.
Thank you. And long. I agree.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for watching and listening to us. This is the Heroes of Teen Leadership and Youth Development Podcast. I'm your host, James Escafon, and Miss Cassandra is in studio today as our special guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So see you